you. Thank you, partners, Dr. Moon, journalists, dear friends, everybody. First of all, I would like to congratulate the last presenter for putting in perspective the real risk of the region. Do you know, Dr. Moon, that Latin America is a continent of peace? However, as it was mentioned before, violence has taken place here, and one of the topics that was discussed here, and two more topics have been added, Dr. Mesa, which are what we worry about. We are the continent with the highest imbalance, the biggest imbalance. We have known that for 30 years, and for 30 years we've been talking about this. So let's get to work. What do we have to do? I've been saying this unsuccessfully when I was the governor of my province, the Buenos Aires province, and this is a success that did not continue. To guarantee the people the guarantee to own land. It is a shame that in this Latin America that is not fully populated, people have to steal a piece of land to build our life project. This is shameful. It's a defect of our predecessors, and we need to finish that shameful. And it's not even expensive to do. It's not even expensive to do that. Do you know how much it costs to lose your roots in your land, to leave your land because you don't have anything to do there? Of course, this is not only being linked to your land. This is also it's about generating jobs and more work. When we talk about organized crime, this is the highest risk that democracy has in Latin America. It's not 30 or 40 or 50 years in which the United States has believed that the phenomenon of the drugs will be solved after the war, and since Nixon that declared war, and then after 10 years after that they said that they had lost it. Well, they said they lost, but then Reagan came, and he doubled the bet. He doubled and he also lost it. We also lost it because the mistake is to believe that the topics of men are solved with violence. That is a basic mistake. In my case, I've been saying this to the President of the United States, first to Vice President Quain. I was 30 years ago, 35 years ago, I was pretending to have an alliance, a continental alliance, to deal with the phenomenon of the drugs. And then when the first Bush came, in those times I was vice president of the country, and I told him the same thing. I said, attention, we're wrong, because the problem is the men. The problem is not the inert element, which is drugs. No, the problem is the man. And now when everything is falling down, when everybody knows the truth, when there is a paradigm in the United States, because President Obama is acknowledging that the President of the United States says that he's fighting with an arm that is tied to his hand, because the budget he has for the prevention and dealing of drug addicts is miserable, then it makes it clear how bad this problem is. But luckily, the paradigm in the United States changes. But when that happens, there are other. Why are people? Because they're not giving importance to what universities in the United States have been saying. All the most important universities in the United States were saying that the problem is not solved with violence. But as we know, politicians, we go ahead with the issue of war. And now when everything is falling down, when everything we know is not true, then why don't we ask the universities if we need to set the drugs to make drugs legal, and if we change drugs for the legalization of drugs, Then we leave the most important topic, which is man. It's always been man. Man in his problems, because this world is more is more materialistic every year. More new generations that are not as a as the other president is not. Women used to transmit culture. The mother, the female teacher, the second mother in the school. That's in our culture. That we use humanist. And today we need to talk about to gain back a power that which is the moral power. Because if we don't get back that power, science and technology are advancing at such a rate, and we don't notice that our children, so capable of using these technological devices, they should always they should also carry moral values. And also the other problem, the problem that really that has to do with values, the corruption problem that is installed in the bigger or small scale in each of our countries, and along with organized crime. I can tell you now, and I am writing a book. So, and this is a book that I'm writing on this topic, and that topic is the corruption related to drug dealing. That book is going to be called Thinking About Clinton. Is the man stupid? It's not violence. It's not the legalization. It's taking care of the new generations that are with the truth completely twisted, with no future. So what happens in my country, that I'm sure can happen in our neighbor countries, is very bad. So if we don't get it back, the future is not going to be the future that we want. Thank you.